Wire Wizard series of videos. In this video I'll be explaining how to terminate a Cat5 module onto a faceplate and into a back box, and the other end onto a RJ45 crimp. So to start with, we need to bare off about 2 inches of sheathing from the Cat5 cable itself. Using a Stanley knife and a piece of light pressure, not too hard as you don't want to damage the conductors on the inside, score around the outside of the cable. The cable itself will then break apart, allowing you to gently pull off the excess sheathing. Remove the tiny piece of string that you'll find in the cable. Some cables don't have this, but the one we're working with does. You'll find 4 pairs of wires, colour coded. Inside the module, inside the packet of the module, you'll find a cable tie. The cable tie itself needs to go through the cable tie holder. Put a small bend, about 5mm, right angle bend, into the end of the cable. Bend the other end back to make it into a Z shape. Put the cable into the trench of the Cat5 socket and wrap the cable tie around it, pulling tight. Trim off the excess cable tie. You will notice that the Cat5 module itself is colour coded to the colours of the cable. Put the colours in the correct order into the little trenches of the terminal blocks each side. You need to keep the cable relatively short and keep as much twist in the pair as possible, as the twist helps with the transmission of the data. Once the cables are laid into position, use a suitable punch down tool to make the final connections. Once the connections is made, your module should resemble that. Take the faceplate right from the packet. Most faceplates come with screws provided. Remove the screws, push the module from the back of the faceplate all the way through, and then clip into position. Then screw down onto the back box. Now that the socket end is completed, we can move on to the other end. This end we need to strip off about 1.5 inches of insulation. Without putting too much pressure on the cable, just score gently around and remove the insulation. Don't forget to remove the piece of string, as so. The pin outs required to go onto the module are pin 1, white orange. Make sure that you untwist the cable and you get it as straight as possible. Pin 2 is dark orange. The next pin is white green, which is pin 3. The next pin is dark blue. The blue pair is usually used to carry voice if the Cat5 is being used in a telecoms environment. The next pin, pin 5, is light blue. Pin 6 is dark green. White brown on pin 7 and dark brown on pin 8. The brown pair is usually used for power when using devices such as cameras or access points for PoE equipment. Once the cables are pulled quite tight and straight, trim back to about 15mm and cut to a nice sharp edge. Take the crimp and slide the cables in gently, ensuring you don't cross any of the cables when done. The cable itself should slide in that way round and look through the side of the crimp to make sure that the wires are pushed firmly up to the end of the crimp. Taking your crimping tool, push in and crimp firmly. This ensures a good connection from the copper parts on the crimp into the cable itself, creating a nice strong bond. Finally, we need to test the cable before we bring it into service, as if the cable isn't done correctly, you may damage some of your network equipment. Taking a tester and a remote kit, plug the remote kit into the socket, bring the tester online, plug the other end into the tester, ensuring a perfect connection. Now you can deploy the cable and connect on your network equipment. Thank you very much for watching the Wire Wizard series of videos.